where one more person is reported dead in Mamprusi East in the northern region, all because of the spillage of the Bagre Dam. There is more in this report.
The spillage from the Bagre Dam, coupled with torrential rains in northern Ghana, has so far killed 11 people. The list, a 10-year-old girl. Hundreds of farmlands have been submerged in harvest season, adversely affecting livelihoods, while several homes have been destroyed. Public Relations Officer of VRA in charge of stakeholders engagement and communications, David Pra, who revealed to Joy News, said the authority was currently assessing and valuing lands, buildings and other properties of those affected by the annual floods. Mr. Pra explained the move was to completely move these people from their low-lying settlement to high grounds as the construction of the Pualugu multipurpose dam, which is to be completed in 4 years, begins.
As we are all aware, the Pualugu multipurpose dam project is a 3 key projects. The first one is 60 megawatt hydro power project. And then the second one is very also critical. That is a 50 megawatt solar facility. And then the third one is the mega one, which is the 24,000 hectare square irrigation facility. And these 3 come together to form the Pualugu multipurpose dam project.
He was speaking in the Northeast Regional Capital, Nalirugu, where officials of VRA donated relief items to the recent flood victims.
We are doing with VRA, what we are doing is to look at the valuation of properties in the demarcated areas. So all the lands, buildings, farms that are and other properties that are within the dam boundaries, we are assessing them currently to match cost to each of them to know the value. It's critical to help us prepare the RAP, that's a resettlement action plan, so that we can now resettle all those who fall within. So this issue of flooding very soon will be a thing of the past, because we are going to take the people within the low-lying areas from there and resettle them to a good place. So they will not even be affected, let alone be killed. So that is what the Pualugu multipurpose dam is going to do.
The managing director of VRA, Osman Ayuba, presenting the donation to NADMO and the Regional Coordinating Council, said the company, which is a key partner in the construction of the Pualugu multipurpose dam, donated the items as part of its corporate social responsibility.
We are here this afternoon on behalf of VRA Chief Executive Engineer Chidapwa to make a token to be presented to those who have really suffered this loss. We know that we cannot actually completely compensate for the loss, especially of the lives of the people, but at least we can show some sense of belongingness to let the people understand that we are with them in this trying moment, especially as VRA wants to embark on the construction of the multi-purpose Pualugu Dam. We believe that this donation will go a long way to help in reducing the sufferings of the people. And we also want to call on others to come on board to support, because this is just a small fraction of what we can do.
Regional Minister Mr. Solomon Bua, who received the donation, thanked the VRA officials for the kind gesture and appealed for more assistance. The regional minister, however, cautioned residents
Ilyasu Tanko joins us via Zoom with the very latest on the situation. Ilyasu, tell us about the death reported in East Mamprusi district.
Well, this morning we are getting report from, this afternoon really, we are getting report from the NADMO service in the we are getting report from National Service in the East Mamprusi municipality, where they are reporting the death of one man who traveled to his farm field to visit the farmland, and while he was coming back, he was drowned in the river. As we speak, his body has been recovered, and he has since been laid to rest.
Now, we're also aware several communities have been cut off by the floods. How many communities are we talking about, and how long since they got cut off?
Well, we have dozens and dozens of these communities. The regional minister, we spoke to him yesterday. He gave an estimate. He says nearly over 50 communities, as we speak, in all the 6 districts in the region currently are inaccessible, from the Mamprugu Muaduri area to West Mamprusi to East Mamprusi and Bunkurgu, and also in Cherpone. As we speak, over 50 of these communities are currently inaccessible.
Elias Otanko is our correspondent in the Northeast. Have we heard from the NADMO yet? Eliasu. We lost Eliasu there, but we've also been trying to reach NADMO coordinator Abu Ramadan to tell us more about plans to rescue or to take care of victims of this floods, but our calls have not been successful. We'll still try and get him to get some responses. But the Member of Parliament for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, has described this year's flooding in his constituency as a calamity of biblical proportions, considering the destruction it has caused. He says he knows the community very well and has never seen this level of destruction. Speaking to Joy News after a donation to support the flood victims, the MP said he was close to tears because of what he had seen.
I'm close to tears because I know this particular community very well, and we are seeing a calamity of biblical proportions. There are people who were born here, who are adults today, who have never seen anything like this in the history of Dalon, Naone, Afayele, Senga, Gbale, Tolgo, Mane, and the rest of the communities that have been affected. It is complete devastation. You know, about 47 homes have been submerged, even though the water is receding, but you can see the levels of walls have been broken down, farms have been destroyed, properties running into hundreds of thousands of cities have been destroyed. Currently, children, women, men, and the aged are living in makeshift facilities in schools, which clearly requires urgent attention and support. So we are here today to lend a hand of support. Earlier on in the week, I sent some relief items, blankets and mosquito nets, but I felt as a representative of the people, it's crucial that I come myself personally to see firsthand the level of.
Mr. Mubarak says women, children and the elderly are currently being housed in schools and need urgent attention, adding that some institutions have pledged to move in to support the victims.
Today, I'm happy to announce a token of support from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The ambassador sends his best wishes and is giving a cash donation of 5,000 Ghana cedis temporarily whilst they prepare to come back with some more support. I can assure you that Stanbic Bank is also coming in to support. In the next couple of days, they would come and help build makeshift facilities just so that the people can at least have somewhere decent to put their heads. The Embassy of the Republic of South Korea is also coming in with some support temporarily, you know, to help them get back on their feet. Myself, I'm making a personal donation of 2,000 Ghana cedis, plus some dried food items, 10 bags of maize, 5 bags of rice, cooking oil, and some other items to alleviate the suffering of the people whilst we go out there again and knock on doors and encourage corporate Ghana and government, especially NADMO, to intervene and help take away their pain and suffering.
They will approach the chief of Dalong if it's possible to offer land for resettlement for the people.
I'll be paying a courtesy call on the chief of Dalong, Yabdal Lana, and it's one conversation that I would be happy to put before him and to see if some land could be made available to them, because you don't know what's going to happen next year or 10 years from now or 20 years from now. We could have a re-emergence of the same situation, and you don't want a situation where every now and then the whole community will be submerged and we would have to seek for assistance to support them. So clearly, it's a conversation that we would have with the custodians of the land here.
Now, we know that in the early years in Tamale here, when the water disaster happened, government built some structures. You as their rep, would you lobby so that if they make land available, government can come in with something?
I've already had conversations with persons in government. Yesterday, I reached out to the coordinator of NATMO. I also reached out to a senior member of the current administration, who is the minister in charge of Agric, and I presented to him the urgency of the situation to look at, providing some urgent support, either for them to reconstruct, whatever that can help them get back on their feet. And the minister assured me he will put forward my request, because as a representative of people, wherever I can get support to help my people, it is something that I am willing to do. And the minister responsible for Agric has given assurances that he would implore NADMO to come in with some temporary support, whilst looking at coming in to help them rebuild their homes. This is devastating, to put it mildly.
Northern Region correspondent Martina Bugri joins us with the flood situation in the region. Martina, what's the situation in your region?
The northern region is equally hard hit like the other regions. Now, in the northern regions, we have 7 districts that are flooded. Some are flooded because of heavy torrential rains, and others are flooded because of the torrential rains and then the spillage of the Bagri Dam. So you talk of Saboba, you talk of Kumbungu, Sablibu, among others. They are hard hit because they have the two, the torrential rains and then the spillage of the Bagri Dam. Now, I must say that when you come, 2 of these districts are hard hit. That is the Sablibu and the Kumbungu district. Now, in Kumbungu today, I must say that everything is totally gone. We have communities, those communities they call island communities. Those communities, you can go in, you can come out. And so as we speak now, they do not know what is happening in those communities. Now, those whose farms and homes have been submerged told me they sleep on the streets. So in the night, they just laid their polythene bags, just name it, anything they can be able to lie on. Yesterday, they said rain, they had to stand and wait till the rain finished, and then they went back to sleep. No place to attend to nature's call, to bath, nothing. I spoke to one woman who said she's been wearing one single dress for the past 7 days. She hasn't changed anything. And so this is how much devastation it has caused to these communities.
Has there been any release from NADMO?
Not yet. I spoke to NADMO yesterday. I was told that they were trying to mobilize themselves and come into the community. When I went into the community today, I spoke with the assemblyman, and he says that, yes, they came there earlier to assess and go, but up till now, nothing has come yet.
Martina Bugri is our correspondent in the northern region. Joy FM Super Morning Show has also started a campaign to mobilize some relief items for the communities affected by the floods in the north of the country. Joining me via Zoom is host of the morning show, Kojo Yangson. Kojo, what got you and your team to start this campaign, and how is it going?
Well, Aisha, we spoke to our correspondents, Martina and Eliasu, and they painted a very grim picture of the situation in the 2 regions they represent. So in the northern region, not only is the flooding submerging farmlands and washing away people's homes, but we're also learning that there are only source of water, which is the newly developed water treatment plant, is currently on the verge of being shut down because it's also flooded. Now, if you can imagine, that will mean that communities in areas like Bimbilla, even if they are not flooded, their homes will not be able to receive clean water because the water treatment plant will have to be shut down. So this filled us with alarm. We also realized that there appears to be some difficulty, which we are yet to understand, with the authorities attending to these people. So NADMO is yet to go into the northern region with aid items for the affected communities. In the northeast region, we have over 50 communities that are cut off, and NADMO is unable to reach them. Nobody is able to reach them. So we were concerned, and we realized that as a people, it's up to us to look after each other. We can't always sit around and wait for the authorities to come to our aid. So we're doing this ourselves. We're just gathering people's concerns and putting together whatever people are willing to donate so that we can go together into the northeast and the northern regions on Saturday and meet the people who are worst affected by this, meet them for ourselves and see what we can do together to help them. So far, the response has been very positive. We've got people calling in to offer all kinds of things. We have a company that has offered to convey everything we collect, all the donations, whether it's rice or mattresses or oil, convey all of it from the greater Accra region all the way up to the north and the northeast region to help us distribute them to the affected people. And we want to give these directly to those affected rather than hand them over to an institution that might struggle to mobilize itself and go to their aid. We are going directly to the people who need it the most.
Keep up the good job, Kojo. Kojo Yangseng is the host of the Super Morning Show. So to come in this bulletin. We'll take a break and we'll bring you more in this bulletin.